We were invited by 2K Games to Singapore for a hands-on experience with Firaxis Games' latest entry in the iconic Civilization series, Civilization VII. We got to dive into this game for a full 3 hours, and boy was it a journey. Let's break down everything that we experienced, from the new gameplay features to the exciting changes that might make you want to pick up the game.
Hey, this is Sean from Gamer Braves. It's been 8 years since we established Gamer Braves channel. We went to a lot of overseas game conference. We did a lot of exclusive interview with a lot of prominent figures from the industry, Ryuzo Sugimoto, Sean Layden, and even Yagu. One of the easiest way to support us is to subscribe to our channel. Support like this will actually gives us motivation and pushes us to produce better content. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much. Please enjoy the rest of the video.
Alright, first up, let's talk about one of the biggest changes, the 3-age system. Unlike previous games, a full playthrough now takes you through 3 distinct ages: Antiquity, Exploration, and Modern. Think of it like the Golden and Dark Ages from Civ 6, but way more fleshed out. So before you start a game, you select a leader and a civilization you wish to represent, and then when you go to the next age, you'll need to select a new civilization, meaning that you will need to select 2 different civilizations in a single playthrough. In our playthrough, we chose Augustus and went with Roman for the Antiquity age, and once we reached Exploration age, we went with Spanish. From our observation, it didn't seem like you could carry on playing with the Roman Empire, and are forced to change civilization upon reaching the new age. You're given a few civilizations to choose from. One is a free option, while the other civilization options might require you to meet the conditions beforehand, such as needing to have 3 animal farms during your Antiquity era playthrough to choose that specific civilization. So with this mechanic, each age introduces unique mechanics, buildings, and challenges. So your strategy keeps evolving. It's a game changer, literally. Next up, let's talk about civilization progression. Here's where things get really interesting. You can actually change your civilization as you move from one age to the next. Yep, that means you can start with one set of bonuses, units, and buildings. But when you progress to the next age, you get to pick a new civilization that adds even more to your empire. And by the end of a campaign, you build this unique lineage that's entirely your own. The replayability here is off the charts. Imagine trying a different combination every time you start a new campaign. The possibilities are endless. While some players might find the mix and match mechanic that the game introduces interesting, veterans might not enjoy this feature as much, as they might prefer to stay to the classic civilization gameplay of sticking to the same civilization that the leader represents from start to the finish of a playthrough. For example, players might prefer to play Augustus and stick to the Roman Empire all the way, instead of changing to the Spanish Empire and Mexican by the end of their playthrough. Now let's get into combat. Civilization VII brings a major overhaul with the introduction of commanders. These units are game changers. They come with their own skill trees and act as the focal point for your armies. You're able to pack nearby units into a single stack, and they even get benefits such as movement bonus, so you can relocate faster, and then once you arrive, you can unpack the units and deploy them to adjacent tiles to prepare for attacks or defenses. This removes the hassle of moving each individual unit, and instead you just move one unit when you want to go on the defense or offense. Commanders also offer buffs to nearby units depending on your choice in the skill tree. For example, you can have your units be able to move right after unpacking, or you can have your units gain combat strength when defending. You can even have them generate gold for each unit packed in the commander, or just have your commander be able to have more movement and ignore terrain movement restrictions. In our session, Augustus' commander gave us some really cool options to tweak our military approach. Early skirmishes? Totally dominated. The system is deep, but not overwhelming, so it strikes a great balance between accessibility and tactical depth. This is definitely a much appreciated addition to the series as it adds more strategizing to combat. Alright, diplomacy fans, this one's for you. Diplomacy in Civ 7 has been completely reimagined. The currency that you now use instead of gold is influence, and it's your key to improving relationships, negotiating trades, or maybe doing a little espionage. Much like gold, influence generates every turn, and you can use it for all sorts of things like opening borders, improving trade relations, or even stealing tech. During our playthrough, we spent some influence boosting our ties with an ally and setting up trade deals. It is interactive, rewarding, and way more engaging than just throwing some gold at the problem. Though at one point in our playthrough, we had more gold than we needed, that we didn't know what to do with the excess gold. Now let's talk about disasters. Natural disasters are back from Civ 6 Gathering Storm, but now they're even more impactful. During our session, we dealt with 2 or 3 floods near rivers where we settled. Not gonna lie, it kept us on our toes. These disasters don't just look amazing, they really make you think on your feet. Do you rebuild? maybe relocate, or perhaps just brace for impact. It's a nice addition that adds a layer of unpredictability to your campaign. So, what's the verdict? From our hands-on experience, Civilization VII is shaping up to be a bold and innovative entry in the series. The 3H system, the new civilization progression, and those deep tactical options bring fresh life to the franchise. And with the polished visuals and revamped systems, it's clear Firaxis looks to aim for the stars. Our 3 hours as Augustus flew by, and honestly, we can't wait to dive back in. For newcomers interested in trying out Civilization for the first time, Civilization VII definitely has a lower entry barrier compared to the previous games. However, for veterans of the franchise, it might be more of a mixed bag for them, as a lot of the intricacies of the series were reduced with the introduction of the 3H and mix and match systems. Regardless of these changes, we feel it's worth keeping on your radar. Civilization VII is set to release on February 11 on PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and the Switch. What do you think of the game so far? Are you looking to pick it up when it launches? And don't forget to check out our interview with Dennis Shirk, the executive producer for the Civ team, and Edward Zhang, senior game designer at Firaxis.